I can't see nothing. Check, check. Check. Turn this off. Wow, I'm not trying to do that. Excuse me. Check, check. Hotep Santa Monica. Hotep Asayim Ka. Is my volume good? Check, check, check. Is my volume good? Peace, let bro Donnell. Hotep Asayim Ka. Is my volume good? Check, check. Dang. Peace. Hotep, Satep, and Raw. I'm gonna get started in a minute. I'm finna share. Send it, Monica. You mind putting sharing it to your page and sharing it to MBK Live? Saying aside, you mind putting it in your Heckanoo site for me? You don't mind seeing? Y'all give me a second. I'm finna start sharing the video to a few people. I'll try to put them in. Oh shoot, put them into a group myself. So bear with me for a few minutes. I came on a little bit early. I said between 6:30 and 7 o'clock, but I was gonna go on at 7, but came on 10 minutes early so I can try to excuse me, share the video real quick to a few people. Monica, man. Appreciate that, send that, Monica. Putting them in. You beat me to let me share to a few more and then I'm gonna jump in it and get started. Just a sec. Peace, Hotep Chris, Hotep John Nix, peace Jadar, peace, Kaba Nepti Ankti, peace. Peace Dual, Skype, peace Queen Ebony, peace. I'm gonna get started in just a second, y'all. Just bear with me for a second. Let me share in a few more groups and we gonna rock out. it. I can't never think of this other group name for nothing. We're gonna get it popping in a minute. See, it's a Tefera. Peace, Dexter. Peace, Vi Grams. Yeah, share and invite, y'all. Y'all don't mind, share and invite. Share it too, and invite somebody else in too. Peace, Notoria. Peace, saying any Harret, Sean, Califani. No doubt, I see you. I'm finna go ahead and jump into it. Hotep, saying Sean. Yeah, he gonna come support. I knew seeing Sean was gonna come support you and sister you two Mo. I know seeing that Elisa gonna be in here pretty soon. So y'all my regulars that come out and support. But peace to the family. Peace, Shesmu, Fatah Ahmed. Peace, brother. Well, I'm finna go ahead and jump into it and get started, man. Let me go back. Hold on a second, y'all. Peace, Tomika Terrell. So let's get started.
Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man. I'm raising my team, red, black, and green. Queen, kitty, salute, now scream, I should. Bring proper understanding, I should. I'm raising my team, red, black, and green. Queen, king, salute, now scream, I should. Bring proper understanding, I should. I should.
All right. Peace, Jimmy John, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Bro, I know you probably ain't gonna tune in for the whole thing, bro, Jimmy. But I know you finna get ready to do something on the Masquerade. So, and we know Masquerade, talks about dressing up, in disguises or some type of uniform and wearing masks and stuff. I'm gonna tie some of that in too tonight, but it's gonna be later on at the end. Peace, Nanyamika. Peace, Hotep, Kevin. But let's go on and get started. The name of this presentation is called Mask in Africa. Mask is African's Way of Life presentation. And peace, Hotep, send that Lisa. And first, I want to say ETM Hotep, Dua U, Rini Kofi Paisai, Dua Netcher, Fafmu Iwa Pele, Fafmu Alafie, Igun, Iba Majube, Oleran, Majube, Odemare, Igungun Kiki, Igungun. And most of you know I just said welcome in peace. Thank you very much. My name is Kofi Paisai. Welcome in peace, because we always want to welcome. I always want to welcome in peace. Peace, Sister Sophie. Bring forth good character. Bring forth peace, because again, as I stated, as we all say, we are Africans, or we are African descent. So we know our culture is built off good character. So please bring forth good character into the chat, as well as I always try to demonstrate good character as well. So again, the presentation, and I, I always give praises and honor to the ancestors, because again, we wouldn't be here without our ancestors. We are our ancestors, so I'm always going to give honor and praise to my ancestors. And again, the presentation is called Masks in Africa. Mask is African Way of Life presentation. Peace, Brother Garfield. I always try to speak to folks when they come into the chat. All right, this is my disclaimer. I always have to put a disclaimer out there, because as I stated before, I don't claim to be no scholar. I don't claim to be no master teacher. I'm far, 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 far from that. I am a student. I'm a sabati. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but sabati, which is a student. So I'm a student that's sharing information. Disclaimer: I am not a teacher, but merely a student sharing information, and that information provided is for the educational purpose only. And if you are in doubt, do the research or have it verified by someone qualified. I reserve the right to change the focus of this presentation, to shut down, sell, or change the terms or use at my own discretion. All trademarks, design rights, copyrights, registers, names, motto, logos, avatars, insignias, and marks used or cited by this website are the property of their respective owners. I reserve the right to add information as it comes available, and or adapt changes, improve information as it comes available in the future. Inputs wanted, changes, additions, deletions, and encouragements. This is my saying. I believe in this saying. As I learn, we all learn. And if we take this motto and we apply this to our everyday life, as we learn things, no matter what it is that you learn, we should pass it on to the next person. That's the only way I feel like we'll be able to excel as a people. We'll be able to grow, is as we learn, we pass on what we learn to the family. Instead of one person trying to keep everything on to themselves and be greater than the next person. That is one of our downfalls. So as I learn, family, we all gonna learn. Now,
Gbaragada ayélujára ọ̀nà tí la àárín odò rèé kọjá ẹ̀rù òbodò odò ti ṣàn ẹ̀kún omi ṣàn títí ó já sí àárín ọ̀nà odò lóhùn lẹ̀gbọ́n ọ̀nà lóhùn lẹ̀gbọ́n a ti rìn a kò rí ẹni sọ fún wa bóyá odò lẹ̀gbọ́n tàbí ọ̀nà ní o odò láyé ẹ̀rù òbodò ọjọ́ ti pẹ́ tí Olódùmarè ọba adẹ́dà tó dá òkè tó dá ọ̀nà tó dá odò sílé ayé odò láyé omi lènìyàn ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe rere o ẹ̀rù òbodò.
I forgot the video was kind of long. I forgot about that. I thought I had chopped the video up, but I liked it. That was dope. That was dope. So I just wanted to kind of start it off with those drums playing and the music and the singing and the mask flashing across it. I just thought it was dope. So I just wanted to play that. Yeah, we're gonna get into that too, Sin, about how people say that the things are talking about the evil thing, about the mask being evil. But all right, family in Africa, mask is the way of life. There has been many of our own people as well as other groups down talking African masks, saying things like the masks are ugly, demonic, or evil looking. The masks are designed for the purpose to ward off evil spirits, prevent ill health, preventing disasters, bringing rain, bringing children to married couples, ceremonies, rituals, policing, government, social control, community affairs, initiations, and sometimes entertainment. So the mask is utilized in so many different ways, and those are a lot of ways that these masks are used. Peace, David Townsend. Now, I'm going to play one more small video. This is a video of a woman. I think she resides in New York or somewhere. She has a shop. So someone's going to come in and interview her. She's from Africa as well, but she has her own store. So she's going to be talking about the mask real quick. So we're going to play this video and then we'll get into the rest of it. Please share the video.
Hi, I'm Chica Oto, and you're watching Sahara TV. African mask. What comes to your mind when you think of African mask? Do you think of evil? Do you think of voodoo? Or do you think of women and fertility? Well, we are out to demystify some of your common stereotypes and misconceptions associated with African masks. We'll be talking to Nanaya. She is a curator of African masks as well as a gallery owner here in New York City. And here she is. Hi, Nanaya.
How are you?
Good. It's so good to see you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Me too.
So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. Ashone Gallery began in 1992. Ashone is an abbreviation of an Igbo word that says Ashowonye, which means the real McCoy, grandeur of royalty, because we
family, listen to what she's saying too. Just pay attention to what she's saying.
To say many things. And Ashowonye really means who really have found out a way to do with the way that the ancestors will accept. So we couldn't put Ashowonye, it would be very difficult for people, so we abbreviated it to Ashone. In order to see what we consider authentic African art that we grew up with, you had to go to the museums and look. You weren't allowed to go near them, you were just allowed to look. And then when you come out and you want to take some authentic art to your home to share with your family, there really wasn't objects that I found that I wanted to do that with. Either that or they were too expensive to get, or you bought them on the streets. And most of those are not what we consider African art back home. Many people love masks, which is fine, but masks and other African artifacts were how we should be saying African life, because you couldn't take one away from the other. They were very much interconnected. It was how it was connected with government. It was connected with policing. It was connected with marriages. It was connected with having children. It was connected with social control. It was connected in community affairs. And so this is really old African life.
What are some of those connections? Like, for example, you said masks were connected with government. How
Right.
so?
Well, most of the governments were dynasties in those days, or royalties.
And are we talking about Igbo then specifically, or?
No, we're talking in generalities now, because in the countries we have now are very artificial. People rule themselves in different ways at that time. Igbo people will, live in an area, albeit many miles apart, but that's their area. And if you go in there, then it's Igbo people, but you have many ethnicities within that, and all of that have their own different ways, their own food, their own way of. Even the dialect that they speak of the Igbo is different. Some of them were ruled by royalty, a king and a queen. Others were ruled by leaders, but they organized themselves in different ways.
How did they use the mask to govern the people?
The masks were really power bases, because a royalty, for instance, let's take in the Ivory Coast. Okay, there is a mask that's called belly, and that is the belly mask is the insignia of the wood carving profession, and the wood carving profession were the right hand man or right hand people of the king, because they have to keep him in power, and therefore they have to carve very powerful masks for the king and also for the leaders. In some communities, if you did something wrong and they were going to take you to the house of the mask, you better confess before you get there, because people already know the ramifications of you going to the house of the mask if you were guilty. So this is the way that they used, some of the ways they used it in governments.
Can we talk about some of the powers that the masks here in your shop have?
Our collection tend to reflect old African usages. They don't look pretty. They don't look attractive. People are always saying to me all day long, some of them look scary, And I said to them, old Africans, that's the one they want, because they were carved for a purpose. They weren't supposed to be looking pretty. They were carved to ward off evil spirit. They were carved to prevent ill health, prevent disaster, bring rain, bring children to a married couple. They had a purpose to do. So they weren't there to entertain.
It's interesting you say that they ward off evil, but some people think that they are evil.
Well, that's the Western interpretation. Okay. Even in Christianity, and most people back home have become Christians or Muslims. Okay. One of the things they teach them is to do away with their spirituality, because they want to convert them to the new religion. And of course, your own religion is not good. That's why we want to, if yours is very good, why do we want to convert you? Okay, now we're talking about old, in the days when these masks were carved, for good or bad. So the Christianity, when it came, wanted converts, and one of the ways to convert is to tell you what you have is not good. So you have to come to the one that's good. But I also said to my Western friends, while they were busy telling them that their masks were evil and no good, they were through the back carrying them off to Europe. most of the good masks are in museums all over Europe. The Queen of England has the most collection of African art, and it was the English people that converted West Africans to Christianity. So this is something they didn't understand, didn't want to understand. Their mission was to convert the people. The job was done. But to all the Africans, this was their life. This is how they transmitted information, because they had secret societies, and you had to finish all the rites of one stage before you can advance to another stage, just like you have elementary school, and then you have junior high, and then you have college, and even advanced studies.
So do these masks have power?
We believe that they have power. If you went to Africa today and you went to the mountains, or you went to the enclave, for instance, in Nigeria, you have Muslims, you have Christians, and then you have people they call animists. Okay, and animists are these people who still believe in the ancestral worship. Okay.
So if the native doctor can't heal you,
right,
eating certain foods can't heal you,
right,
you go to
society.
All right, I wasn't gonna play the whole video. I just wanted y'all to hear some of what she had to say about the mask. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button and come off the whole presentation. But yeah, I just wanted y'all to hear some of what she had to say about the mask, because she's actually from Africa. All right. Makers of the mask. So we're gonna start with makers of the mask. Let's start first with the mask makers. And the mask makers is a specially educated person who is respected and feared by his tribe for his understanding of the spirit world. So in order for you to be able to be a maker of the mask, you had to be skilled, you had to be knowledgeable, you had to have an understanding of the spiritual realm, of the spiritual world, of the eco, which means the spiritual world, or the heavens. So the maker had to be very skilled. The artist trained can last for many years through either an apprentice, mentorship, apprentice/mentor relationships, or by skills that are passed down from father to son. And a lot of that is what is done. They raise their sons up to be makers of the mask. So they pass this skill down, this skill set, and this understanding of the spiritual world down from one generation through the next. Every mask is made according to strict rules. They believe that material they work with in every color and shape has power. This power directs the artist's works. The masks are made of bones, ivory, metal, fiber, leather, and most often wood. They may look natural or abstract using bold geometric shapes. They can represent qualities such as nobility, beauty, courage, and humor. So I try to incorporate up here all the things of what these masks are made of, and different sections of what they may look like. Some with bone, some with wood, some made with metal, some has the cowrie shells on them, some have different diametric shapes on them. So I try to incorporate that in this slide here. Okay. During the mask ceremonies, the dancers goes into a deep trance, and during this state of the mind, he communicates with his ancestors. A wise man or a translator sometimes accompanies the wearer of the mask during the ritual. So one of the wearing of the mask is dealing with the dance ceremony. So you will see them wearing masks, and some of the dance ceremonies that take place, they're saying that in some tribes, those that wear the mask comes into a trance. And as he comes into a trance, he begins to speak another language, and another wise translator has to come and translate what he's saying in a dance ritual. The dancer brings forth messages of wisdom from his ancestors. So, you know, we deal with ancestor renovation, ancestor worship, and so they do these different dance rituals to communicate with the ancestors and receive messages from the ancestors from the ancestral realm. Often the messages are grunted utterance, and the translators will quietly decipher the meanings of the message. Rituals and ceremonies are always accompanied with songs, dance, and music, played with traditional African music instruments. Masks are often decorated with such things as animal hair, straw or hair beard, animal horns, animal teeth, feathers, seashells. Masks are usually designed to appear human or animal, or a combination of the two. And you will see with a lot of different of the masks, you will see the combination where they combine the masks where it may have a form of or a merge of an animal and a human being, but you see that all throughout Africa. Horns represent the growth, because you will see a lot of, then this is why I put this down here too, because in a lot of other African art dealing with the mask, you will see a lot of the masks have horns on them. So a lot of people will look at the mask, those that are uninitiated, or those that may be illiterate to their own culture and have been westernized and have been indoctrinated, believe that these masks with these horns represent some type of evil force, or represent Satan, or Satan, this mythological character, and so forth, and don't understand the culture, don't understand why they have the horns on here. But the horns represent the growth of millet, which is a cereal plant. That's what it is, and that millet, you can make dough, and you can make beer from this cereal plant. So a horn represents the growth of millet, legs, roots of the plants, while the ears represent the songs that women sing in the harvest time. And the masses was also used during harvest time. They would use these masses and put these masks on as they went out there and started harvesting in the field. And as they harvest in the field, they would sing songs. So a lot of them, they would wear these masks. So that's why I titled this "Mask is African's Way of Life." So no matter what we did, we incorporated the mask with everything that we did. So the women wore these masks out in the field with the horns on them, and they harvest and they sing out there in the field. And again, the horn represents the growth of which is a cereal plant. And a cereal plant is something that you can make dough out of this plant, and you can make beer from it as well. And it is representation of the leg roots of the plant, of the cereal plant, while the while ears represent the songs that the women sing in the harvest time. So again, they wear the masks while they in the field harvest. All right, these are some of the places. I can't remember what this here is in the British Museum. The sister talked about a while ago when we looked at the video. She talked about how the Christians came in and they converted a lot of people in their area into Christianity and indoctrinated them and taught them that their culture was no longer accepted, and that Christianity or their religion was the best way to go. And as they taught them to forget about their culture and their tradition and demonize their culture and their traditions, they was out the back door with all of the African art. So you see a lot of them taking the art out. If you demonize them, if they're so demonic, if they are so evil, my thing is, and this in here is in the British Museum, the one on the left hand side. I can't remember exactly what museum this one was in. I think this is in the Germany Museum, the one on the right-hand side. It's in Germany, but I can't remember the name. The British Museum and the Germany Museum. But my thing is that if these things these masks are so evil, so demonic, so despicable, then why are you taking these items and then you're taking them and putting them in your establishments and you got them on display or you selling them? I mean, you can go on different auction sites now, and you can look at some of the different auction sites. And I meant to put a few auction sites on here because I went on them last night. And as I went on these auction sites, these individuals have taken these masks and have them and on these auctions, and they're auctioning the masks off. These masks is ranging from $300 to $11,000. I think I seen one. I think the highest I might have seen one might have been like $20,000 for one mask. So they are taking our things, and family, we have to wake up. We have to wake up. We letting these people talk us away from our culture and our tradition, and they are taking our stuff and capitalizing off of our culture. No matter what we do, they're teaching you to hate your own culture, but at the same time, they know what your culture is worth, so they're grabbing towards your culture and creating, you know what I'm saying, creating a great economic for their own culture. So I wanted to throw that in there because she, you know, that the woman in the video, she talked about that, you know, as they converted us into Christianity and taught us to our culture and tradition, and what we did no longer was accepted, and their religion was the way to go, and they, you know, indoctrinated the generation after generation. But then in the back door, you grabbing our stuff and running off with them. And here it just says, African masks are considered amongst the finest creations in the art world. In the art world, it is one, but they're supposed to be so demonic, so evil. But it says it is the finest creation in the art world and are highly sought after by art collectors. And again, family, when you get a chance, go to some of these museums and type in African masks and museums, and look at these museums all across the world housing these masks, and then go on and click and auction or type in auctions African masks, and see how many auctions come up there. And some of the auctions let you go on there and let you see exactly how much the prices these masks are going for. Many of these pieces, some replica, can be viewed in museums and art galleries in many parts of the world. Mask ceremonies in Africa has great culture and traditional significance. Latest developments and understandings in artistic principles, religious and ceremony values have brought about a greater insight into the ideals and moral values of Africa artists expressed in their art. All right. I want to talk real quick about scarification, because a lot of us don't understand what scarification is. So I want to kind of talk real quick about scarification. And scarification, you will see a lot of scarification marks on a lot of the masks. And we're going to get into some of the masks with the scarification on it. But let me break down the scarification, what is scarification, because those are some. The sister also talked about secret societies, and she talked about initiatory systems, and most of African systems, they have initiatory systems, so you have to be initiated in it. And initiation is nothing but different levels or different schools of thought. And as she broke down, you know, you had kindergarten, and you know, you had elementary and junior high and so forth and so forth. And this is where some of the Westerns get their ideals and their construct from, far as the levels of knowledge: first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, so forth, and etc., which is nothing but different levels of knowledge. You start off in beginners, and then you start to excel through the different levels of knowledge. It's the same thing with the initiatory system that she talked about. And one of the initiatory rites is scarification. In some areas of Africa, they deal with scarifications. So you will see a lot of the family with scars on their face, such as their forehead, such as their side of their face, and their abdomen, their stomach area. You will start to see them. We're going to break down the scarification on the top, on the front, and the scarification on the stomach. So we're gonna get into that. So women or men get scarification marks that will distinguish him from anyone else, tell her his rank in society. Family, clans, and tribes and symbols symbolize her beauty and strength. In some African tribes, it was like wearing your identity card on your face. True, some may hate that, but this was a mark of pride, not shame. In some African cultures, it was a major artistic and culture component, as can be seen on masks in museums around the world, right? You can see the scarification marks on the masks as well. Scarification patterns on the mask are not only marks of beauty, but marks of one's lineage as well, in some cases, protections against evil spirits. Scarification is more visible on darker skinned people than, say, tattoos. So in certain regions here, they use what if you don't like the pain? A lot of people don't like the pain. And if you don't like the pain, it just all depends, Senator Lisa, of what tribe you come from. Because when you're dealing with scarification, some of them, again, we talk about initiatory systems, right? So when you deal with initiatory systems, I'm kind of jumping ahead because it'll kind of answer the question of what you're saying. But if you follow me in my African rites of passage presentation, I went through the initiatory systems. You're going to take the pain. That's right. You're going to take the pain. But some people that don't take the pain, certain things happen if you don't take the pain. And I'll give an example. In my African rites of passage presentation, if you haven't looked at the presentation, family, go to Kofi Paisai TV. I know people get tired of me saying go to Kofi Paisai TV, but I'm going to keep saying it. But go to Kofi Paisai TV and look at and scroll through the videos till you see the African rites of passage video. And I go through thoroughly of all the different piece Sin Nahesi. I go through all the rites of passages, and I go through them in full detail. And one of them I went through far as dealing with the women. And one of, I can't remember exactly the tribe it was, but it might have been a tribe in Ghana. And this female was going through the rites of passage. So she was going through the stage of adulthood. So we know in most cultures in African societies that you, between the age of 12 to 14, you become an adult and you go through a rites of passage. And the men and the boys and the girls will be separated from their community or from society, right? So I talked about this female in Ghana, and she was going through her rites of passage of becoming adult. And I talked about it, and then I showed a video. And the video showed where this young girl was going through the rites of passage, and not every country or every tribe or clan deals with scarification, but her clan, her tribe her people deal with scarification. It is one of the initiatory rites when dealing with becoming a woman. This is one, and through this rites of passage, it was teaching the females to be brave, to be courageous. So she had to have scarification on her face, and this scarification, it would symbolize her becoming an adult. She's becoming into an adulthood. So she had to go through this rites of passage of scarification on her face. And if she didn't go through with the scarification, then she will be deemed still a young child and not a young adult. And I think in some cultures, it's every 4 years. So she will be identified as a young girl and not a young woman if she doesn't complete the rites of passage of the scarification. So that video, it talked about that in my if we need this, knowing what I know now, I will put my kids through the rites of passage. And we need that, Sinette Monica. As I stated in the video, that PowerPoint presentation I did, we will be in a lot more places if we went through that. And what I mean by that is, and family, if you hadn't looked at that video, to me, that's a powerful video that I did. And it breaks down, I said that we wouldn't have broken homes right now if we put our families through these rites of passages. We wouldn't have, men would know how to be men, women would know how to be women. We wouldn't have a rampant of kids running around here without a mother and a father, and we wouldn't have a rampant of kids running around here without being married, because in our traditions we believe that you can only get bring forth life if you are in a holy union. So the kids, and as I stated in that rites of passage video, in some cultures that you would have to be, they send the kids through these rites of passage, and they send the women to school. So they teach the women how to be good wives, as well as they teach the boys how to be good husbands. But they teach them how important it is for you to be a virgin until you marry the man that you're supposed to be with. So and it also teaches them that that a man is supposed to be with a woman, and a woman supposed to be with a man. So they didn't teach in our culture homosexuality. So they taught that in order to be fruitful and bring forth life, you had to reproduce yourself. It had to be with a male and female, not man with a man and a woman with a woman. So it will be less of the of homosexual culture going on if we had that also, you know. So, and it will be our men will be more protective toward our women. The men, the men understand their role, and the women understand their role, and they'll know that they both complement each other. There will be no life without the man and no life without the woman. The man wouldn't disrespect the woman wouldn't disrespect the man. But we know, we learn this from our oppressor, that the woman comes from the real and the man is above woman. But we understand that we both was equal. No one was better than the next. We needed each other. But through the indoctrination, what it says man is above what? God is above man, and man is above woman. So this is some dangerous rhetoric that a lot of our family reads. And this is one reason why we treat our women the way we treat our women, because we let our oppressor teach us these things, and we gravitate toward their system instead of gravitating toward our system. So it's just a lot of things, but I'm not going to go too far into that. But if you hadn't looked at the video, go back. So if you hadn't subscribe to Kofi Paisai TV, scroll through the videos, and then find the African Rites of Passage video. Click onto that video, and I go thoroughly through each rites of passage, through every last one of them, and you will understand why I said that we need those back in the community now. We will be in a better place right now. Our communities will be in a better place right now. But let me get back on track. Scarification. Scarification is a long and painful process and a permanent modification of the body, transmitted complex. But I hope I answered your question, Senate Lisa, that if they didn't go through with it, some cultures, you will have to wait another 4 years. You wouldn't be considered a young adult for as a man. You wouldn't be considered a man. You wouldn't be considered a woman. You will have to wait another 4 years to go back and try it again. But most take the pain. And they don't last as long as what we think they last. But scarification is a long and painful process and a permanent modification of the body, transmitting complex messages about identity and social status. Permanent body markings emphasize social, political, and religious roles. We are afraid of pain. Look how they whipped our people and could hide our backs. That's right. We were so and going through that when the men was going through what they was going through and the women was going through what they was going through, far as the rites of passage. And not all of this different African cultures deal with scarification, but a lot of them do, and deal with them through their initiatory systems. And it taught them to be brave and courageous. You see. So it was also a learning lesson in there, as well as you was going through your rites of passage. Permanent modification to the body, transmitting complex messages about identity, social status. Permanent body markings emphasize social, political, and religious roles. Beautiful and complex design depending on the artist's skills, but also on a person's tolerance to pain. Facial scarification in West Africa was used to identification for identification of the ethnic groups, families, individuals, but also express beauty. Scars were thought to be beautified to beautify the body. It was also performed on girls to mark stages of life, puberty, marriage, and etc. So I explained a while ago with one through the rites of passage, dealing with which we know the rites of passage are nothing but stages of life. So one was coming from puberty to being, but you also have the children at a certain age through certain African cultures and certain different countries in Africa, where the child at a certain age that is not going into adulthood yet, but still in the puberty, gets scars on his face as well. And again, the scars is not, we look at those when we look at pictures, we say, oh, why did they mess their face up? But these scars represented something. And in certain cultures, like I said, it represents beauty. It represents beautified. So you will see those different marks, and we're gonna go into the different marks a little bit. It represents a certain group. You will know, oh, I'm from this group of people. I'm from this group of people. I'm from this group of people. I'm from this family. Those markings was, you could tell what type of group of family or what country or nation or clan or tribe I come from, dealing by the marks, wherever the scars may be at. And again, you will see them on the face and you will see them on the stomach area, and then, like I said, it expresses beauty, and it's actually a identification card. It's an identification card. I walk up, oh, okay, that brother there from the Igbo tribe. Oh, okay, that brother there from the Congo, he a Congolese. So it was an identification mark. All right, here are some of the statues that has the scarification marks, on them. And you'll see here the scarification mark. This is a one right here from the Ivory Coast right here. This is from and their scarification marks is on the forehead, and those are vertical lines. And I wanted to show right here, this young brother here went through his initiatory rites of passage, and he's got scar. He has his scarification marks that deal with his tribe in the Ivory Coast here. So you can see here on this mask, their scarification are vertical. So you see the brother here with his vertical lines, this young brother here that went through, and he also have them on the side of his face. His scarification are nothing but vertical marks. You have another one here, and this is from the this is the Kakari mask scarification here, and this is a mask from this second mask is from Cameroon. So you see it here, the scarifications in the middle of the forehead. And then you have a mask here, and this is from the I think the Marca people, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the Marca people in the scarf, and they are from the Bukanta Faso and Mali. These people are from Mali. And you can see the scarification marks here on the face here. So again, as they different cultures deal with the rights, deal with initiatory systems that deal with scarification, they also put scarifications on their mask also to represent their culture as well. You have a mask here. This mask, I think, this mask is from the Ibobo, if I'm saying it right. And seeing Sean talked about this Saturday on my channel. So if you hadn't checked out that that presentation, I think is the I'm pronouncing it wrong, Sin, so don't get mad at me. The Ijakam people. So he talked about those people on my channel, which was a great show, by the way. If you hadn't looked at it, go back to my station, Kofi Paisai TV. If you hadn't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like bell. But he talks about those people as well. So this is one of the masks. He showed a few masks as well that's dealing with them. And we talked about the horns a while ago. So we can get that out of our heads now about African masks with horns representing the devil. It represents evil. We know exactly though what they wore those masks doing. The women wore those masks in the time of harvest. We know that those horns represents the roots of the cereal plant that they planted, and from this cereal plant they were able to make dough and make beer out of it. So we know we can get that out of our head. We can throw that in the garbage. We can throw that in the trash can when we see our family with these masks with the horns on them now. We can throw that in the garbage. But this is from Nigeria, and these people are from not southwestern, but southeastern Nigeria. And you can see the scarification on this mask in the middle of the forehead as well on the side of the face. And you can see it here with this child here on the side of the face. And again, certain cultures, it deals with puberty as well as transitioning from a man or transitioning to a man, transitioning to a woman, in your rites of passage through it, your initiatory, being initiated by being going through this scarification right. So I just wanted to break that down, what scarification was. And they use certain things with scarification. They use glass, they use a sharp knife, they use seashells, and something else they use that I'm forgetting about that they use to do these marks. And now, family, we know also that dealing with the scarification, or we see these marks on our family, we know these marks, we can throw that in the trash can too. That why did they mess their face up? Okay, that's ugly. They just made their face ugly. We know in our culture and some of the cultures that these scars represents beauty, right? It's as I stated, it's an identical card. It represents what family you're tied to, what group or nation or clan that you are tied to. So now, you know, like I said, you can throw all that other stuff in the garbage as well. All right. Now, talked about scarification. I wanted to show a video because as I stated earlier in the slide, I talked about the scarification on the face. And then I talk about the scarification on the stomach area, right? So those are two different things. So we're going to go into the scarification on the face and the scarification on the body as well. So I want to show a video of a young brother actually going through one of his rites of passages, and he's getting it put on his stomach area. But we're going to see it being put on the face because, again, as I stated, in some of the cultures, 12 through 14, you become an adult in some African cultures. And some of those cultures deal with the scarification of the face. And if you didn't go through with the scarification, then you will have to wait 4 years. That's only dealing with some of the cultures, not all of the cultures. So let's get into the video. It's just a short video. It's not a long video at all.
In Benin, West Africa, the Bessaribi tribe has lived the same way for hundreds of years. One key to the tribe's sense of identity is ritual scarification. In this arduous, bloody process, the scars left by cuts form intricate designs. The Bessaribi scar the face to mark the start of childhood, and the abdomen to signify adulthood. Here in the village of Takisare, Nada Mangu is preparing to leave his childhood behind. Soon, slices in the skin of his stomach will officially initiate him into adulthood.
Whenever my friend and I are together, he always calls me a crybaby, and now I want to show him that I too am courageous.
The Bessaribi initiate young men into adulthood every 4 years. Mangu missed the last ceremony because he was in Nigeria working on a farm.
The ones who are already scarified, when they see me now, they don't accept me into society.
The village blacksmith, Nada Felix, will perform the scarification. Using scrap metal and an ancient bellows, Felix will make a knife to use on Mangu. It's initiation day. Mangu fortifies himself with millet porridge, and his mother offers a quick sip of homemade alcohol.
How should I lie down? Like this?
Yes. As his family looks on, Mangu receives the first cuts. The process will take nearly an hour. In a nearby village, preparations are underway for the facial scarification of a child, Nacha Philippe. According to Bessaribi custom, once a child has been weaned from his mother, he is ready for scarification. Philippe's mother, Kusanka Tenpe, considers the tradition a vital step. She believes the ritual will please her ancestors' spirits and protect Philippe from harm.
I am happy and sad at the same time. Sad because the child will cry and that will hurt me. Happy because it is our tradition and he is only going to cry for a short time. After that, I can console him.
Philippe's head has been partially shaved so the scarification can reach the very top of his forehead. By tradition, the ceremony must take place on flat ground beneath a tree, with the child resting on a bed of fresh leaves. The blacksmith begins cutting. With the village elders looking on, the blacksmith spends some 30 minutes etching designs into the boy's face.
Be quiet, be quiet. When your father comes, you can tell me. It is almost finished. Soon you can get up.
The scarification is done. Though Kusanka stayed with her son, her husband couldn't take it.
I went away. I was afraid to see my child bleeding.
To fight infection, Kusanka covers Philippe's wounds with a salve made from the leaves of the shade tree. Philippe's scars have initiated him as a child of the Bessaribi. In the other village, Mangu's ordeal is nearly over. His scarified peers arrive to hail his courage. The boys honor the ancestral spirits, singing to celebrate their friend's hard-earned manhood.
I am very, very happy. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it through. I showed the blacksmith exactly what designs I wanted. I told him to give me the same designs that he has on his chest. I told him that I didn't want the regular thin lines in the center.
By enduring the pain of scarification, Mangu has proved his manhood and cemented his bond with the community.
So I wanted to show that video too, just explain, just to show exactly what I was talking about with the other two slides that was dealing with the scarification. And again, some cultures, the scarification of the face is also not only dealing with coming into adulthood, but also becoming initiated into the society that you belong to as your puberty right stage. Also, in some cultures, becoming an adult. For that brother's culture, he's had to get scarification on his stomach, which he was able to pick his own design to go on him as well. So he picked his own design to go on him, and through these initiatory or these ceremonies, you have the elder there. So the elder is there to make sure nothing goes wrong. It's no funny business. So he's always there watching along to make sure everything is done right. So the elder is always there. So now you kind of got to, I hope the family now got an understanding of what scarification is and these scarification marks. There's also that they put on the mask. So I just wanted to explain that because I know a lot of the mask has a lot of the scarification marks on them, and we don't understand what scarification was. And I know a lot of us that didn't understand it see them when we look at certain pictures, and we see a lot of the brothers and a lot of the sisters with the scarification marks on their face or the scarification mark somewhere on their body. They don't understand it or what it represents. And again, like I was saying, it's like an identity mark. It represents it represents protection. It represents protection or protection from evil spirits. It also represents what clan, tribe, or nation or family that you belong, that you that you belong to. And it also represents in some culture beauty. So you will see a lot of women with the scarification marks with certain tribes because it represents beauty. This here is the Biobo mask, and I showed plenty masks on a lot of the other slides. We kind of talked about the mask or what the masks were made of, the different colors. We talked about who makes the mask. So now we know that anybody cannot make the mask. Anybody can't make the mask. Anybody, you had to be skilled. You had to be knowledgeable, and you had to have understanding of the spiritual realm in order to make the mask. Because again, in certain dance ceremonies, because masks are worn through dancing, So I describe what the masks are worn. Masks are worn with just about anything that we can think about that we do. They involve the mask with, but we know dealing with the masks and the dancing ceremonies that those that are chosen, because anybody can't wear the mask. Anybody can't wear these masks. So the ones that are chosen to wear the mask begin to dance through the ceremony and stuff and goes through a trance. So, and those that made the mask pass down this skill and this knowledge and understanding of the spiritual world from son to son to keep it going. This ain't like them crazy white women cutting their damn wrist either for attention or self-hatred. It is a culture. It's something scared. Peace, Juliana. Peace to you, sister. I'm trying to see who else came on here that I may not have spoken to. Peace, Paulette James, if you're still on here. Peace, Alema Niles, if you're still on here. Peace to you, sis. All right. So let's go into some of the masks. I ain't gonna go in because I said I showed a lot of them on there. So I'm just gonna show a few more. The presentation about over with, y'all. Beaver bow masks are usually carved from wood and colored with red, tucala powder, a dye made from a canewood tree. The eye are typically coffee bean shaped, a triangle checkerboard design, and used to decorate the eyebrows and the planes of the face. And you will see this design, the checkerboard, this diametric, the geometric shape. You will see these on a lot of masks in a lot of different places. There were three forms at the back of the head representing the Baobo hairstyle. Feathers are often attached to the top of the Baobo mask. Baobo masks are usually worn during tribal rituals and ceremonies. The Baobo lives south of the intersection of the Lula of the Kasa River in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Sanufo masks are created by specialist artists who lives apart from the rest of the village. Sanufo masks combine features of animals and humans in a single design, as we talked about earlier in one of the slides. We talked about how they combine, in a lot of the masks, they combine human form and animal form together. The Sanufo artists have a higher status in their society as their masks and sculptures are believed to have the power to help communicate between the living and the dead ancestors. The Sanufo masks are used in the rites of the Puro society. The male organizations that educate young men in the traditions and responsibilities necessary for the coming of age. The Sanufo worship their ancestors, particularly the Koloto and the ancient mothers who hold so much power that she had to be carefully approached through intervention by lesser gods. The Sanufo are farming people over 100,000 stretched across various borders countries in West Africa, including the Ivory Coast, Ghana, the Burkina Faso, and South Mali. So these masks are also worn through initiatory rites. So we know, as we talked about initiatory rites, so the masks are involved in just about everything that we do. So in certain societies, doing initiation, you will have the mask on. The Bua masks are believed to possess special powers which are controlled by those who wear them. These masks are plank-shaped with a circular face at one end and a crescent moon at the other. Their wearers look through a hole in the mouth. The eyes are based on the owl and the hook nose coming from the hornbill. Both these birds are thought to possess magical powers. The plank sections are decorated in a geometric pattern, which are essential design elements in many African masks carved. Geometric patterns create an external rhythm which echoes the internal spiritual energy at the artwork. It can also be used as a coded language where the designs communicate secret knowledge and those in the know. And you can see that in a lot of cultures. A lot of the writings or the designs or some type of secret codes communication to the ancestral world or to the creator. The designs of this Bao mask, which is used to celebrate boys' initiation into the adulthood, represent information about the myths and moralities that boys must learn before they can be accepted into an adult society. The Bao are farmers, communities who come from Mali or Burkina Faso. Masks are also only made by those who lived in the southern parts of their territory. The Yahuru are noted for their beautiful craft masks that combine humans and animal features. And again, you will see that piece Peter Daniels. You will see with a lot of those masks the combination of animals and humans facial features. All right. The Yuhu are noted for their beautiful craft masks that combine humans and animal features. They have elaborated hairstyles, which often include horns, elegant faces with the high forehead, arched eyebrows, low protruding mouths. the face of the Uhu mask is outlined with triangle zigzag designs. So again, as I stated, you will see this geometric design on a lot of masks all over Africa. And a lot of the masks you will see the different designs of way their hair is worn, or the females wear their hair. So the mask is made in a cooperation with the hairstyle of the culture. Uhuru masks are used in dance rituals to help villagers come to terms with death of one of their people. So this mask is associated with a dancing ritual as well. But this dancing ritual is not to communicate with the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? To get messages back from the ancestors. This is to help people to cope with the death of one of their loved ones. This mask represents you, spirit, who restores the social balance after bereavement. These masks are considered very powerful and dangerous objects. They must be kept out of the sight of women for fear of the effects that the supernatural power of the you, which is the spirit, may have on them. The Yohuru Hure lives in a central region of the Ivory Coast to the east of the city of Bolafi, if I'm saying that right. All right. My brother spoke about these people in the presentation he did on my channel this past Saturday, the Al-Jaham, and I'm saying it wrong, people. And he did a presentation on these, which was an excellent presentation. I appreciate my brother for coming on my platform and presenting and sharing information, because I learned something, a lot of stuff which slowed me down from doing this presentation, which I stayed up 24 hours trying to put this presentation together, because I was trying to research some information on the presentation that Sin Sean did on my channel the other day. And I was so after the video, when I was so excited, I wanted to get to that information that he had, because I took notes, and that's what we should all do, take notes. So I took notes, but I had my promised my son something, so I wasn't able to get to the information that day, and I wasn't able to start on the presentation that I'm doing today, so I had to wait till the following day. But I took half of my day researching stuff that Sean talked about on my platform, because I was so excited, because I focused on Nigeria as well, and more with southwest Nigeria, central and south Benin. But he talked about a people in southeastern Nigeria was the Ijaham. And I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. He said it's so right. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but he spoke about these people, and I learned a lot. And then I'm still gonna finish my research, because I ended up having to stop with the research, and I promised my son something else on Sunday, because he got good grades. So Saturday and Sunday, whatever he wanted to do, I did it for my son. So I got my nephews and let him play with my nephews, and then I took them wherever they wanted to go eat and took them somewhere else. So I didn't get started on the presentation till I don't know what time it was, but I know I didn't go to sleep until the sun came up and rise, and everybody ate breakfast and did whatever they had to do. But I appreciate my brother for that presentation, because I learned something, and hopefully the family learned something. If you hadn't looked at the video, please go subscribe. Yeah, I'm saying it. Yeah, I'm saying it. Please go subscribe to Kofi Paisa TV. My sisters, Saint Monica, been putting it in there. My sis, Kaba, Nepti Auntie, been putting it in there. Go subscribe to Kofi Paisa TV. My brother Satep and Rob been putting it in there too. So go subscribe to Kofi Paisa TV. Hit the like bell. Look at the video. But here you have the helmet mask by these people from southeast Nigeria, the Ijaham, if I'm saying it right, saying Sean. Artists from across the region of Nigeria often covered wood masks with uncured antelope skin and he showed one of these masks, but he didn't show this particular mask. But he showed this particular mask for as the scarification marks. You can see the scarification marks in the middle of the head, right here, and here on the face, on the side of the face. You'll see those all throughout Africa. But he showed the one with the antelope horns on his head, with the curled antelope horns on his head. I started to incorporate that one that he did, but I liked this one, so I gravitated toward this one. And this one is made out of wood, and we know that these masks are made out of so many different material, wood, metal, leather, and so forth. And this one here is actually made out of, this is a wood mask, and it's actually a helmet, and it is used for warfare. And you will see a lot of them that the masks that they call helmet masks, these masks are utilized for war, and they're utilized for trade. So light and colored faces of this helmet are females and males respected. Secret societies use these marks in dance performance related to trade and warfare. As I stated, these masks are related to trade and warfare. And this mask is it has 3 heads on it. It has 2 faces on the front, and then it has, if you reverse the mask and turn it on the other side, it has another head on the other side. And these is the Ajaga, and I think I got it right, Sam. The Ajaga helmet mask. And again, the Ajaga people is from southeastern Nigeria. And again, if you want to know more about those people, go to Kofi Paisa TV and scroll to the videos till you see the Ajaga people presentation where Sin Shun went in on these people. Hotel to you, Thea. Hotel to you, sis. All right. This here is the it's called the Mukanda baboon mask. The baboon is recognized as a symbol of wisdom. So we don't get in there, but the baboon mask is recognized as a symbol of wisdom. They were kept in special sacred mask houses outside of the village. The baboon mask, which has been used in incoming age rituals and is used in dancing and ceremonies. So this mask is used of the coming of age ritual, which is what could be adulthood, where this mask will be used in a ceremony, or it could be used in a dance ceremony. But the baboon represents wisdom. Who also has the baboon head in North Africa? Before I even go into that, can anybody, I'm just asking a question. This is not to make nobody, insult anybody's intelligence, because sometimes when we ask questions or somebody asks a question, people be standoffish or get upset because you feel like they feel like you are assaulting their intelligence, or you trying to stroke your own. That's right. Peace to you, Laz. I'm not gonna even pronounce your last name, but peace to you. But in Kemet, so we know Jehuti. We see Jehuti with the Ibis head, right? But Jehuti also is a representative. You can see Jehuti with the baboon head. So you'll see Jehuti with the baboon head, and we know Jehuti represents wisdom. He represents intellect. He represents intelligence, right? So this is why the baboon is a symbol of wisdom. We know Jehuti in North Africa represents wisdom. And you can see through our family, traveling into other different places. So as they travel into other different places, I'm going to talk like the young folks now, and they took their swag. They took their swag into the other cultures. You see, so they passed on certain things that they got out from another region that they may have been in, and they took it into the other area. So we can see that the baboon, it also comes from out of Kemet, which is a representation of Jehuti, which represents wisdom, intellect, intelligence, and so forth. Those that understand the Kemetu culture of the Ramich culture in North Africa or in Kemet or in Mary. So, and my brother also talked about, okay, I actually, after he got through talking, I wanted to verify some stuff that my brother Sin Shan was actually talking about when he was talking about the Ijaga people, and he was talking about the Ibibo people, he was talking about the Ikoo people, he was talking about these people in this region, and he went into the land, he went into the Nisabiti strip, right? That is related to these people in this area in southeastern Nigeria, right? So I read something out of one of my brother's book, and this brother here too, I forgot to add his name into it. He was on the live feed. I don't know if I'm in my Ra is still on here, but I made a post yesterday, and the post I made yesterday, I've been feeling this way for like 2.5 days. And I was just saying that the ancestor put it on my heart or put it on my mind, because I also am a practitioner of the Ramich of the Kemetu culture. And we deal with the heart is the seat of intelligence. The heart is the mind. And I don't know which presentation, because I've done a bunch of presentations now, so I don't remember which one it was. But I went into the word ahat, and I went into the word ib. Ib and ahat means heart. And I went into the Seshmeter Nature, and I showed you what ahat, it means heart, but it also means mind. It also means knowledge. I went into the word ib. The ib also means the mind. It means consciousness. So the ancestor put on my ib that, you know, I should shout out these people and let people know that, and let these people know that I appreciate them because they affected my life. And again, family, I don't have a bunch of friends. I don't. I cut a lot of people off. A lot of people off. And my family in my hometown is very popular. I had a bunch of friends. I've recently moved back to my hometown. I don't really deal with a lot of people. And I don't deal with a lot of people because my thing is, if people can't offer something or build onto your life or build value onto your life, it's no need of you being around these people. If these people can't encourage you, if these people can't uplift you, if these people can't inspire you to do better, to be great, then you don't need to be around these people. So the ancestors of the Aku, of the Agungun, put on my heart to let these people know and everybody know that I appreciate these people. So I named a bunch of people, and I forgot to name this brother, and this brother his name is Amin Ma'at Ra. Me and this brother done build on a few occasions, and this brother brought value to my life. He encouraged me as well, so I can respect it. So I can't forget that, because if I wouldn't have built with this brother, I wouldn't be able to do what I did, and that was to write a book. I wouldn't have been able to do that. So I apologize. I'm in my Aunt Ra, if you still on here, brother, but your name's supposed to have been in that feed as well. I got some people on the feed now. Sister Ka Banepti Auntie, she's on here. She's one. Sister Mo, she's on here. She's one I shouted out. Sin Sean, he's one that's on here. So these people, I appreciate them. And family, if you're around people, no matter who they are, friends, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your mistress, you know, your cousin, whoever they are, if they're not bringing no type of value to your life, then get rid of them. But I just wanted to say that because I left that brother out. And but anyway, going back into, and this is his book here. This is his book, the Amun Ra Illumination Volume 1. Oh, and I also shouted out the other people too, you know, and that's, you know, Satep and Ra. I just brought it all in one bunch. The Seshu. I come from the I'm in a group called the Seshu Ma'at Ni Metanetu. And that is a true scribes, a lawyer scribes, shoot, man, I'm having a brain for it. But those brothers and the sister, because we have one sister in the group as well, you know, we specifically deal with the sesh metanetra. We deal with the writing script, which is the sesh, and we deal with the language, which is called Rani Kemet, which is the mouth of Kemet. Rani Kemet means the mouth of Kemet. Sesh metanetra means the divine words. So we specialize in that. And just the conversations that I had with the brothers and with the sisters that's in the group, they also shaped it and they also molded me as well, you know. So I appreciate that, Sister Cobb. I appreciate that, Senate Monica Lamb. So y'all, yeah, you can always call me Senate Monica, and we can get together or whatever, because you know we hadn't really been doing any shows lately on our Session Metanetra channel. So you know, just you can always call me. We can get together or get in the hangout and transliterate and translate something. I know my brother Satep and Ra always ready. But I just wanted to shout, you know, because I learned from them guys, and them guys actually molded me as well and taught me some things and showed me some things. Well, I'm able to also do these PowerPoint presentations as well. But anyway, let me go back because I want to go back real quick. So we talked about real quick, peace, Edward Savage. Peace to you, brother. So let me go back real quick because I kind of got off track because I wanted to, you know, get that out the way real quick and then express that again. But I just talked about the Makandi baboon mask, right? And I talked about Jehuti did not just have the Ibis head, but he also had the baboon head also. And we know Jehuti represents wisdom, intellect, intelligence, right? So and these people here, the Makandis people, they had a mask as well. And this mask was worn during different rites of passage that's dealing with the coming of age ceremony, which may be the adult rite. And it also deal with the dance ceremony where they were doing their dance ceremonies and so forth. They may be dealing with their festivals or whatever. And so now I want to get into I'm in my Aunt Ra book, and Sin Sean touched on this as well in a presentation. So I'm in my Aunt Ra book on page 259 through 261 states, some of the baboon iconograph of Tahuti was incorporated from East Africa, where the baboon, which is supposed to be baboon, is still associated with wisdom in several ethnic cosmologies. Jehuti is often depicted as a baboon in Egypt texts and is very fascinating because the Iko people, the Ibobo people, and the Igbo people in Nigeria used a writing script composed of symbols called the Nisibisi. And Sinshan talked about this script as well. And he talked about this sacred cloth with the Nisibisi script on it. And I'm actually going to try here in the next 2 weeks to go to Vicksburg and get it's a woman down there that he told me about that actually makes these quilts with the Nisibisi script on them. And the Nisibisi script, these symbols are they put you in the symbol of mind of the Adrika symbols, right? And for those that ain't looked at Coffee Pie Side TV, yes, I'm saying it. The Nisibisi script and those symbols are similar to the Akan people. So I did a presentation on the Akan people when I went into the Adrika Adrika symbols. So I didn't break down all the Adrika symbols, but I think I might have broke down about 15 of them. I went into the Ghana, spiritual system. I went into the Kente cloth. It shows you how they make the Kente cloth. I went into the Adrika symbols that are on the clothing, that's on the Kente cloth, that was on the funeral clothes, and explained why they wore these symbols and what they mean, which was messages to the ancestors in the ancestral world. They were delivering a message through the symbols of the writing scripts on their clothes when they were buried with these clothes on, to deliver messages to the spiritual realm. and it is similar to the people of the Ibibo, the Iko, and the Igbo people in Nigeria as well. Similar people. So, you know, but if you hadn't looked at that presentation, go on my channel, Kofi Paisai TV. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the bell. Scroll through the videos, and you'll see the Ghana video, and you can look at that video. But it says Nigeria used the writing script composed of symbols called the Nisabidi. There are thousands of Nisabidi symbols, of which over 500 have been recorded, and some that deal with the warfare and spirit realm have been kept a secret. According to the legend, Nisabidi script was taught to them by a baboon. So this is the legend of the people in southeastern Nigeria. They said that they was taught the language, or they was taught this writing script, by a baboon. A baboon in their culture, and even in Kemet culture, represents intelligence. And it also represents something where you deal with the howling of where the baboon howl at the moon and howl at the sun, which the baboon is a representation of the sun and the moon as well. And that is something in his book that he does, he talks about in his book that's dealing with the baboon as well. According to the legend of the Nisabidi script was taught by the baboon, which they refer to as the Idiscos. The Nisabisi symbol are Nigerian, and they are used on wall design calabash, that's bottle gourds, on different metals such as bronze, swords, and tattoos. The Nisabisi is primarily used for the Ikpi leopard secret society. So you can see in our culture, we deal with secret societies that deal with initiatorial systems. And Sin Shan talked about these leopard secret societies. He showed you the people, you know what I'm saying? He kind of elaborated on it a little bit, and he went into it. And those who hadn't looked at it, the Ijagam people presentation that Sin Shan did on my channel, please go to Kofi Paisai TV. Source goes back to a comparative work done by Theophile Obanga. Okay. So he's giving you one of the other primaries right there, Theophile Obanga, the source. Nisabisi is primarily used by the Ikpo leopard secret society, which is found across the states of across the river of southern Nigeria among the Iko, the Ife, the Igbo people, and others nearby the Black African people. So this here is out of Amin Ma'at Ra book, the Amin Ra Illusion, Volume 1. So if you don't have this book, please pick it up. It's a great read. Came out in 2016, if I'm correct. If I'm not, please correct me on that. But I think it came out then. It has a lot of the Session Meta in there. It has a lot of our culture in there. It's a great read. It's an easy read, and it's a read that's not going to go over your head. He also have 3 other books: The Roman Illusion of Christianity, The Roman Illusion of Judaism, The Roman Illusions, Volume 3, dealing with Islam. So he goes into all 3 different religions and break those down, and how they got into Africa, how we got converted into these different religions and so forth. So it's a great read. So this is a great read, and his other books, Illusions, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Get those books. Those are great reads. I got all those books, done read them. I actually done read this book maybe 4 times. I done read the Roman Illusion book 2 times. So they're great reads, and they at a reasonable price, and it's a Black author. So we have to start supporting one another, family. All right. And I'm finna wrap it up. Peace, sister Cammy. Peace. So I'm finna wrap it up. So here is the Ijagam Epe Society leopard dancers right here. And we deal there with, and Sin Shan, he talked about the presentation, he talked about masquerades, right? He talked about the Ijagam masquerade. So and I wanted to throw this up here too, because another brother that I appreciate that I shout out, he was on here, but I know he didn't stay on that long. His name is Jimmy John, and he's finna get ready to put a masquerade party on, right? So so you know, so I'm asking the family, where do this concept come from? Because the concept of we'll get into that. So we're doing things, and I'm asking what culture these things come from. And then if you do the etymology on the masquerade word, you know, it goes back to the 15th, the 14th, 14th century when we dealing with masquerade, but we're going to get into what masquerade is. So I just wanted to put this picture up here and let it sit here. The Ejagam Epe Society leopard dancers, and this is one. They're dancing in one of their masquerade ceremonies, and so forth with their festivals and ceremonies. But where did this concept of masquerade come from? Where did it come from? You know, and we have to start giving credit what credit due. We give credit to so many people that say they created or came up with these ideals and concepts. We give them to we are really disrespecting our ancestors, because we'll give the Arab credit, we'll give the European credit, we'll give an Indian credit, we'll give a Palestinian, we'll give all these people credit, but we don't do the thorough research to see exactly where did this stuff stem from, where did it come from, or who influenced them to do what, or how they was taught these things, or where did they get these ideals from. So so he talked about this, and then I seen a video with the brother. I appreciate him, Jimmy John. He's finna do something February to something. He's doing a masquerade party. If you're still on here, I'm waiting for you to invite me, bro. I know, I don't, some people say I'm bored. I know I'm not boring, but I don't get out. I don't hang out with people. I really don't associate with people that are not like-minded or can't bring some type of value to my life, or share some type of something with me. So I just tend to not deal with too many people, but I'm waiting on my invite to the masquerade thing. But anyway, let's get into it. Masquerade, a party, dance, or other festivities, gatherings of persons wearing masks and other disguises are often elegant, historical, and fascinating costumes and family. And I was talking to Sister Kaba early on the phone, and I was telling her how I stayed up all night trying to put the presentation together, and then my mind, I don't never sleep, so my mind is always going, and because it's my mind is constantly moving, and I can't sleep. So so I get up because I think I'm missing something, so I pick up a book, I go read it, or I'm just doing some type of research. You're gonna look like New Orleans Mardi Gras Indian culture. Yes, you can. You can see the similarities, sis. Yeah, you can see the similarities. And I was telling her, my mind going, and then I got through with it, went to bed. Like I said, I stayed up all night, and most of y'all went to work. I was still working on it before I even laid down and went to sleep. Went to sleep for a few hours. I couldn't sleep. I got up and kept going back and forth trying to add information, and add things. And I just wanted to, and this was like my last little thing I wanted to add. So I added it at the last minute. So that's why you see some of the words bunched up, because I was trying to hurry up and get through with this. And I was trying to cook, trying to build with the sis, trying to get me a shower, trying to get me a bite to eat. And then I can come on time and present the information. So excuse some of the errors on here. And I know I say that a lot because I be trying to get through, or I'm always adding. So sometimes I read through the stuff, and then some stuff I don't read through because I just recently added the stuff, and I added it at the last minute, and then I try to be a man of my word and try to go ahead and go on with it on time. But we all attending parties where these masquerades deal with the dancing and the party, and you got to wear the mask, and you got to wear these different elegant garbs, historical garbs and stuff like this. So and dealing with the Ejagam culture that deals with the Ejagam masquerades of these festivals and things. This stuff been going on for 1,000 years. But when you look up the word and you go into the root of the word, it goes back to the 15th, 14th century. But we know this has been going on through time immemorial, thousands of years. In this world, this word, maybe a few hundred years old. But this goes back thousands of years ago. So that's why I was saying that we give credit to people that did not create these types of things. You see, so I just wanted to put this up here and go through it, you know, and then if my brother here, he can see exactly where did this concept of the garbs, the elegant garbs, the masks, the partying and the dancing, the festival vibes, and, you know, gathering with people come from. You see, it comes from our culture. You know, number two, a costume or disguise worn in such as a gathering. A masquerade ball or ball masquerade is an event in which participant attends in a costume, fancy dressing, wearing a mask, compared to the word masquerade, a formal written or song court pageant. Less formal costume parties may be a descendant of this tradition. A masquerade ball usually encompasses music and dancing. The nighttime events are used for entertaining and celebration. These are all the things that we are doing right now. But these things have been going on for thousands and thousands of years, but we were credited to the Greeks, we were credited to the Romans, we were credited to the Italians, and so forth. But this comes from our culture, family. So I just wanted to throw that up there. So these, again, are the Ajagam F.A. Society leopard dancers, and this is during the time of their masquerade thing that they was doing right here. And I just wanted to throw the definition up of what masquerade and what the masquerade ball is, you know, just to, you know, kind of get my point across, Okay, here are all my sources. I'm not going to read my sources, but I got a plethora of sources because, again, we deal with sources over here. So these are all my sources, and it's not, you know, we have to get out of, you know, when we do things, and you look at seeing Sean's presentation too, there are a plethora of resources, you know, because a lot of us start to research things, and then, you know, we'll read something and people tickle me with that. We'll read something for an hour. We'll go and Google something, right? And then once we Google it, we'll read whatever else that topic is, topic matter, information is, for about an hour. Then we'll come back and we'll throw something up on Facebook, like we versing the information, like we done read, invented so many different sources, and then we done went and seen, and we done did a comparative analysis on the information. We done seen what the consensus is. We done seen that new information done surface. These are different things when we talking about information. It's called Tef Hesed in our culture in North Africa. It's the correct method. So, you know, so stop, you know, family. It's some great information out there if you want to learn what is the proper methodology of research. You Kemet Press, they have a few books, I think 2 books. I don't feel like getting up and going to get the books to get the name. I think one of them is Seba, but they have great information on you know, how to research. If you're serious and you want to do it, I have a few PDF books that deal with how to research, collect information, and so forth. You know, hit me in my inbox and I'll shoot you a book or 2, you know, and you can read it, and then you can go from there. But these are my sources here. Please go subscribe to Kofi Paisai TV YouTube channel, please. It's a new channel. I need your support. I keep asking y'all to you know, and I don't think that I think it's a goal that I can meet. I only had the channel for 3 weeks, but I'm at 75. No, I'm at 76 or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look. Subscribers, and appreciate that. Do our send it, Lisa. So I only have 76, but my videos be at 1,100, 2,000. So please go subscribe to my channel. We got to start supporting one another. You know, and I keep saying this because I support everybody, man. You know, I've been around, even though I've been quiet, and people know me from the Seshuma Ni Metaneta group, and in that group, you know, I talked a little bit, but I didn't talk a lot when we was in the videos, but I talked a lot when we was off the camera. And I did that because I wasn't proud of my voice. And, you know, we buy into the stuff, or, you know, I will always say I'm too country. And I almost stopped doing these things because I didn't like my voice, hearing my voice. But again, I was saying, you got to surround your people. You surround yourself around people, you know, just going to inspire you, just going to encourage you, just going to, you know, uplift you, share some information with you that you may not even know about. And So, and bringing value to your life, and you got to appreciate those people, and you got to let those people know. And Sister Kaba, do all to you again. You know, we was building today, and before we was building today, I just ain't too long met this, you know, this sister and the other people. You know, I kind of had a relationship because we done talked over the phone a few times. We done inbox each other and so forth. And these people, you know, inspired me and brought value to my life. You know what I'm saying, and molded me and shaped me to who I am now. And you know, she was, you know, telling me about my you know, my the way I talk, and I hate, you know, I was talking about the way I talk, but now I'm proud of the way I talk, you know. So I'm proud of my voice. I'm proud of the way I talk. So y'all gonna keep hearing me, because I almost stopped because I don't like hearing my voice. Even September, I tell you the same thing. You know, I always said I was country, didn't like my voice, and a lot of our videos also go to the Seshuma Ani Metanetter YouTube channel. Go to our channel and subscribe and hit the like button as well. And we have a bunch of videos on there, maybe 100-some videos on there as well. But, you know, like I said, you know, you might have heard me in the beginning. They let me go at the end, and I do my little intro, you know, blase, blase, you blase this. And then, you know, I might say a few little things here, but they, you know, they are, and I never, and we got over 100-some videos on the channel or more, but I never went back and looked at none of the videos after we done recorded them. And you know why? Because when I talked on them, I didn't want to hear myself talk. But I'm proud, you know, I'm proud now. I'm proud the way, you know, the way I talk, you know, the way I talk, you know what I'm saying? I've been indoctrinated to the people from the South, but she made me realize that. And, you know, dua you, Sister Kaba, Madupe. Dupe Pupo, which means much thanks to you, sis. So please go subscribe to the channel. You know, I'm always supporting people, and I've been around for about 5 years in the so-called conscious community, which the so-called conscious community, I'm gonna just say it like that. So I've been around, and everybody, I support everybody. You know, I buy their products, I buy their clothing, I buy their books. If they're close in the area, I go to their events. Sometimes I drive a little bit farther to the event, so I'm spending gas to go. So I'm supporting people. So all I'm asking for y'all family is to support me. I'm not asking for no money. I'm just asking for you to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like bell. Look at the information. If the information for you, you know, hit the like button. If it's not, okay, that's fine. But support your brother. Please support your brother. And family, you know, I'm asking that y'all, you know, direct people to my channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, tell them to go check the content out. And if they like it, you know, subscribe to the bell. You go in and look at it. And if you like the information, because there's a lot of, I got so much information on there. And I only been up 3 weeks. I got 22 videos. This will be the 23rd video, and it ranged from different places. I got stuff from Kemet on there. I got the master builders from North Africa. That's from Kemet. I got the nature, what is the nature / nature ooh. I got what is I got the 4 cosmologies of Kemet, which is what's set, Kimnu, Ipataset, and Minefa or Hekabata. I got the 75 names of Ra. Those are Kemet. Then I got videos from West Africa on there. Then I got stuff on there dealing with the holidays. I got a video on there dealing with Thanksgiving that it's on my channel, and I did on Dr. Oyama Art channel. And dua to that sister, because she's the first person that ever invited me on somebody else's platform. So I appreciate that sister, because she didn't have to reach out to me, because Dr. Oyama Art, she didn't know me neither. But she reached out to me. I had a conversation with her over the phone. She motivated me. She encouraged me to keep up the good work, and she invited me on the show. So when she invited me on my show, that let me know that she appreciated me also for the work that I was doing. So she invited me on her platform. I've been on there 3 times. So I did something on Thanksgiving, the origin of Thanksgiving. I did my volume, the introduction of Yoruba Volume 1, which I got 2. I did 2, Volume 1, Volume 2, but I did 1 on her channel. I got Volume 1 and 2 on my channel. And I supposedly did a Christmas, the origin of Christmas and the psychological ramifications of it on her channel, which I didn't do the presentation, but we did a discussion, which was a great show. It's on her channel as well as on my channel. So I appreciate that sister for believing in me and put me on her platform, and I appreciate it. And it's some people platform I'm just not gonna go on because they don't practice Iwa Pele, which is good character. Because we know in a lot of these platforms, it's a lot of foolishness going on. It's just like you still out in the streets, you see. But I appreciate that, sister. So please go and subscribe to that sister channel, Dr. Oya Adawa. Dr. Oya Adawa. I can't remember. Oh yeah, Dr. Oya Adawa from Sending My Art channel. She has a lot of content on there. She does something on Sunday where she reads. She has a book club. So go support that brother, that sister, and she has DVDs. She has the DVD, so go support her with her DVDs. She has 2 DVDs, a volume 1, volume 2. She has the clothing behind the mail tracks and everything, videos. So go support. We got to start supporting each other. And again, you know, I know I'm a new booty, but please go support me. Go to my channel, support my channel. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I'm way off, but I believe I can get there before the end of the month or the 1st of February. So please support me. So please go to Kofi Paisa TV and support me. And I'm finna get off here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and looking at the video. I hope we all learned something. I hope I didn't let anybody down with the presentation. I wanted to add more information, but I know it was going to be too long. So I appreciate everybody that came on and rocked out with me and let me share the information and listen to what I had to say. And a lot of times we do these presentations. They may last an hour. They may last. Peace, Johnny Andrew Hendry Jr. We may do these presentations, may last an hour, hour and a half, but you don't know what we go through to put the presentations together. And sometimes it is hours and hours of reading and dissecting information and then going and doing some more research, you know what I'm saying? And then trying to put these things, organize and put these things together, right? Unfortunately, but we just have to add useful and goodness to the community as much. That's a fact. So on that note, family, I want to say Shemim Hotep, which means depart in peace. I said ETM Hotep in the beginning, which means come in peace. And I also said Fahmu Alafie, which means bring forth peace. So I wanted to welcome y'all in with peace. So I want us all to depart in peace as well. And before y'all get out of here, I'm gonna keep my introduction video to my channel. I always want to play it in the beginning and play it in the end. I'm gonna keep playing. I paid for it, so I paid for it. I gotta keep playing it till I get my money worth. Till I get my money worth. I hope y'all enjoy the presentation. I hope y'all enjoy the video at the end. Shimmer Hotel. Much love to y'all.
Man in the full knowledge of himself is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man.
I'm bridging my team, red, black, and green. Queens and kings, salute, now scream. I say, spring from another hit. I say, live from a different drink. I'm ripping my team, red, black, and green. Queens and kings, salute, now scream. I say, spring from another hit. I say, live from a different drink.
Peace.